I know you and I chatted, John, briefly last week around working alongside different generations.
Mm.
And we've had a question come in. What do you think? Do coaching strategies differ by generation?
That's interesting. I don't think so from a coaching standpoint. They don't differ by generation. They do differ by age, but once that generation gets to adult, then they don't. I know that there's a thing where a lot of people will talk about, well, the younger generations don't have the same like level of standards of work ethic, or they expect everything to be done, via text. They don't want to be, do face to face or conversations, or they're harder to hold accountable. I don't. Uh, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one from like a work standpoint. From a coaching standpoint, there's no difference when you're working with someone who's 25 versus 65 in terms of like coaching technique. The difference when you're working with a young person is you sometimes have to set the agenda at the beginning and then work through ways of helping young people adapt the session agenda for themselves to move forward. That seems to be that seems to be in play, but I don't think it has anything to do with generation, people who are used to phones growing up versus not. There might be something like brain wise, where younger generations are, maybe their like amygdalas are in hyperdrive, and we have to have, coaching in a different way. But I don't know. I don't see it. I really don't. Even with my young ones who are like, teenagers, and I don't see any difference. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is sometimes themes that I've picked up. So when I'm working with younger generations, younger people, actually a lot of them are more advanced in doing work on themselves, I found, than I was.
Hmm.
Or some of my clients are probably Gen Xers or boomers, because I'm finding that they're being introduced to it sooner through certain aspects of social media, wellness.
Hmm.
There's been lots of trends around yoga and wellness eating. So I have found that some of my younger clients that I work with already journal, for example, or already keep a log, have a different perspective on the growth mindset. And especially in executive coaching, we're coaching leaders, I found we launched a new cohort, which was a mixture of younger leaders and different generations. And it was quite exciting to see some of the reading that they were doing and some of the work that they've started on themselves. And some of the women from different generations were quite impressed. And I heard a couple of comments around, I wish I had known this when I was that age, or I wish I had access to this information in the same way.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think it also does fit into this conversation though, of like what kind of assumptions are you making when you're working with younger people versus older people. I mean, our brains are designed to. I mean, our brains are literally designed to look for patterns
Yeah.
and to make connections between. Okay, this person is dressing this way. They're this age. Their skin is this color. Their culture is this. Oh, okay. Let me fit in all the other patterns of all my past experiences with that. That happens in the subconscious mind. You can't stop that from happening. It doesn't. It doesn't stop. What we can do is we can make it conscious, and you can say, okay, a conscious choice. I am consciously now, like, choosing how I'm interacting with this person. And what coaching, the beautiful part of coaching is that it basically trains us to become aware of our assumptions and to become curious about them. It's lovely. It's why I love it. And to get into that, I mean, it's same thing with younger generations. Like, they're an individual. They're different from everyone else in the whole whole planet. So let's ask questions from that perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't make assumptions around technology either. Because I've got plenty of people of all ages who are in a coaching portal and it works and they love it. And I've got others who are like, I don't want to go in there, just phone me. That's how I want to have coaching, and pen and paper's fine with me. And that is boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z as well, who we might make an assumption that Gen Z loves technology and apps. Actually, some of them want to go back old school and liking the pen and paper. So it's putting those assumptions to one side and meeting the person where they're at, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.